I know that this fulfilled a childhood dream for you. Can you talk a little bit about that?
My dad used to take me to every naval museum that he could find, and he used to lecture me on naval history, starting with John Paul Jones and the Revolutionary War, this kind of crazy pirate who was the father of the American Navy, who whooped the British ass. Sorry, Britain. My dad was obsessed with World War II naval history and made me study the battles of the Atlantic, killing the Bismarck, and what went on between the British and the Germans here on the Pacific side, between us and the Japanese. And I hated it when I was a kid. As I got older, I realized that it actually was starting to stick, you know, and like so many things our parents do that kind of drive us crazy at the time, it stuck.
Put the force of weapons posture 1. Warning red. Weapons tight.
As a filmmaker, I always try and make things authentic. You know, when I did Friday Night Lights, I lived with the football team in high school, the Texas high school football team for 8 months. When I did The Kingdom, I went to Saudi Arabia with FBI agents. It's always important for me to get it right. You know, making a film about, this film's about the big Navy and the big ships. You know, if I didn't spend all that time and do all that research and think about guys like, you know, whether it's your father or my father or these 21-year-old kids that are going to watch the film and are immediately going to be like, you know what, no way. Or, okay, yeah, they're fighting aliens, but they're actually fighting aliens the way we would probably fight aliens. That means a lot to me.
You know, you got to be around a lot of veterans and amputees.
Right.
Talk a little bit about that experience, being around those guys and kind of soaking that in, I guess.
You know, it's funny because I play non-military in the movie. I'm probably one of the only people not in uniform in Battleship, and I got to, for training, I played a physical therapist who worked primarily with victims of war who had come back injured, and so we got to go to Tripler Medical Hospital in Hawaii, Brooks Army Medical Hospital in San Antonio. We got to actually spend time with these troops, Greg Gatson and I, who's an active colonel in the Army. So to share that experience with him, someone who's been through the tragedy that is losing both of your legs, and to actually, you know, visit these hospitals, talk with these guys who are my age and younger than me, when I'm just like this little actress coming in saying, oh, I'm playing this physical therapist in a movie, can you tell me about your experience? I mean, it was unbelievably humbling and probably one of the most rewarding parts of doing this job.
I was in an article that National Geographic did on the advancements in prosthetics, and I was just a small piece or example of I had been testing some powered prosthetics at the time, and so there was a full picture of me in the National Geographic, and I think that kind of helped born the idea in Pete's head that, you know, this. So I literally get a call in April 2010 at my house asking him with him asking me to be in a movie, and in August I'm in Hawaii.
Now, is it true, and we'll just say they, okay, because we're not going to throw anybody under the bus, but is it true that they didn't think that you were tough enough for this role in the beginning?
That is true, and they does not include Pete or our producers. That team was really supportive, but yeah, initially they're like, you know what, we don't think you're tough enough for this.
So you went in, you chewed glass, spit bullets, and you got the...
Pretty much.
Right on.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
She's like, I want to see blood. If there's no blood, there's no part.
Nice.
So it was actually snot, another... Yeah, so he truly said, I want you to snot and cry. You have to be scared for your life. And he said, if you can snot, this part's yours. So I somehow made snot come out of my nose. It sounds disgusting, but this is so true. Not one bit of this is fabricated. And 2 days later, he called and offered me the part. Nick.
I got this.
The chemistry, I was talking with Brooklyn about this, the chemistry that you guys had on camera was amazing. And she mentioned that you guys kind of leaned on each other a lot throughout the process.
Absolutely. You know, first of all, I got to say that Brooklyn is, you know, everybody sees her physical beauty, but her beauty goes much more deep than that. And she's a wonderful woman, and someone I'm proud to call a friend now. And she was, you know, we leaned on each other. You know, we're not that far apart in terms of our experiences,
Right.
and so I didn't feel, I don't think I ever felt intimidated just because we were both, you know, pretty new at this, and so we really got to learn and grow together.
You know, this was his first movie, and this was only my second, so we were both kind of coming into it as newbies, and so there was definitely a lot of trust that we had to instill in one another. He depended a lot on me just to tell him technically things like what hitting your mark meant. I mean, things that you just wouldn't know coming onto a movie for the first time. And he had to teach me things like how to deal in a crisis and how to, you know, react under pressure. And so the two of us really bonded quite quickly, and we're still friends to this day. And I think it's really incredible casting to cast an active colonel in the Army, because no one else can bring that kind of experience to this role. No one can know what it's like to lose both of their legs. That's nothing that us actors have to deal with.
Pete gave you the opportunity to be the only one in the film that I noticed where you went hand to hand with the aliens in a fight.
Right.
All right? I mean, what did that mean to you to be able to have that opportunity, to be the guy that really took them down?
Well, you know, it didn't, at first it didn't kind of start out that way. I think the sense was it was going to be more of my stunt double doing the fight scene. And I said, hey, I want to do this. You know, I want to try it, and if it works, then it works.